Welcome back. We are Outside the Box, where we started as an EMS podcast to drive clinical performance, but now we're taking a whole lot of other topics around the way we do what we do to be better at what we do. So thanks for joining us today. I'm Kevin. I'm your host. I have with me today Mary. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate your time. I'm excited for this conversation.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk about the first impression that you make matters. The impression you give people matters. So let's start with talking about you, Mary. Let's learn about you and tell us where you're coming from in this conversation.
Okay. So when I think first impression, I think business. Immediately my mind goes to business, to making a living. So a little bit about my background. I come from a broken family. I do. I had to work very, very hard to build a career for myself. I started with nothing, got myself into oil and gas and became very, very successful. Got into management, loved what I did in oil and gas. And I think that's where I really realized how much that first impression mattered, because I was in a male-dominated industry. So I had to do extra. It is what it is. I'm not complaining about it. It just is what it is. So, dressing professionally, making sure that my presentation when I went into meetings was good, my clothing was right, how I spoke, and how I articulated things, how I interjected within each meeting mattered a lot in oil and gas. I was the first female supervisor at the company. The company opened in 1972. So as you must understand, I had an uphill battle. I did. I had to make these good old boys realize that I could do the job. Nice. So that impression that you make as you're dealing with each different person in your job matters. It matters a lot. How you talk, how you articulate yourself, how you dress when you go to work. I'm old school. I believe in an old school work ethic. I really do. I think we need a little bit more of that back. That's what I see with the younger generation. No offense, younger generation. But I do. I believe in a very, very solid work ethic. And I believe in dressing for the position that you want, not the position that you have. So I was taught that very, very early in my career in oil and gas, to not dress for the position that I was in, but to dress for the position that I wanted to be in. And I've really held on to that. I really have. And it was advantageous for me that I listened.
Yeah. And you have since moved on from oil and gas.
I have.
Into an arena where this image, this impression, this who Mary is even more profound than it was when you developed that.
It truly is. And so I moved from oil and gas into real estate. I made that decision for my children. I wanted more flexibility to be there for them. So when you move into real estate, you are the brand. So Mary Watts is the brand. So how I dress when I go to the grocery store, I can't even go to the grocery store and look terrible. And I think that's sad for me. Because I'm gonna run into a client. I am, when you become well known in your community and you step outside of the house, you are marketing yourself every single time that you step outside of the house. So I want to make sure that every time I do that I look professional. I look well put together. Those things are very, very important. Very important.
It was a well-timed conversation this morning with our assistant director, since we're doing this today, that she was saying some of the same stuff, that you have your image that you present establishes a certain level of credibility and lends that value to the things you say. That you've made the impression, and then the things you say land well or they don't. But when you don't give this good first impression, your appearance, the presentation doesn't establish credibility, man, your words had better be an awful lot more valuable, because you've got a lot of ground to make up just from that first impression. No matter how great this thing is you have to say,
it's true.
You name it.
It's true.
Real estate, any kind of business, selling any kind of product, and you look like garbage, I don't trust you. You take a doctor that walks in the room looking like garbage, and it's hey,
well, yeah, you're starting to get a little bit afraid, you know, that especially with a career like that. For sure, I may walk out the door.
right?
Yeah.
And we say all this stuff about we shouldn't judge people on first impressions, and
Yes.
you know, the whole don't judge the book by the cover thing, but it's kind of a falsehood. Like, it's a nice little pipe dream.
Yes.
We judge people by how they look, in the sense that it establishes or deteriorates their credibility that they get right out of the gate, even before a conversation starts.
I agree. I think that, you know, whether we know it or want to admit it or not, we are evaluating every single person that steps into our sphere, into our space. Is this person safe? Is this? There's all kinds of questions coming into your mind as a person comes into your space, and that first impression really is everything.
And let's talk about going and buying a car.
Okay.
That I'm gonna wear certain clothes. I'm not gonna go in my pajamas and flip flops.
Correct.
And expect somebody to take me seriously when I want to negotiate the price of a vehicle or talk about financing options. That attire is likely gonna get me a fight for somebody's attention.
Yes.
Versus dressing a different way and having a put together presentation. Even not even fancy. I'm not gonna wear a tuxedo.
Yeah.
But you walk in looking presentable and put together.
Yes.
Somebody's, you know, maybe I actually get some commission out of this sale. I'm gonna go give that some attention.
Right.
So it happens daily. It happens to all of us. We do it, and this isn't some we're terrible people kind of thing. But the message is that it matters. The way we present ourselves matters.
Well, and it's not even about, you know, I don't want to make it about the type of clothes that you wear, because I don't think that that's it.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to make it about any brand, because who cares about that? You know, it's just about being put together.
So this is a fabulous point for somebody who doesn't get to choose what I wear to work, which Kathy and I love having this conversation.
Yes.
She's picking out her clothes in the closet, and I'm like, I think I'm going to wear the blue pants and white shirt today. That's what I'm going to pick out. In our industry, I mean, we're a uniformed industry.
Yeah.
And that goes to the professional appearance. But you're right, the put-together nature of it, clean clothes, hang-up, wrinkle-free kind of stuff.
Exactly.
I'm a big fan of the starch.
Yep.
So...
Yep. Hair. You know,
the hair.
making sure you
know how
don't
I do.
look crazy walking out the door. You know, brush it.
All right, so we're talking a lot about personal appearance, and we are going to tie this all back to kind of personal appearance, that we have, you know, our appearance standards, and our crews hear me get on them about it with the way that boots look, tucking in shirts, what have you.
Yep.
Those are all important things. Let's talk about another topic that you're very well versed in, that I have personal experience in with you.
Okay.
Is preparing to sell property.
Yes.
That you do this frequently, you do this regularly. In fact, you came from other appointments getting property sold before you came to talk to us, which I appreciate you squeezing us in the busy schedule. And my personal experience is staging my house for you to sell it to somebody.
Yes.
And you came in and you walked through the house and you gave us a list of some things to adjust. Apparently, Pepto-Bismol pink walls are what sells, so we painted them.
I appreciate that, by the way.
You know what? You're welcome. We did that for you.
Thank you.
Tell me about staging a house. That why not just take some pictures, throw it on a Facebook page, and somebody's going to come buy it?
So even since we sold your house, we have even dialed it in further. We have multiple staging appointments now with our clients. We actually go in and we stage every single home. We have staging materials. We have a warehouse full of staging materials so that we can come in and we can make your home look like a model home. What people do not understand is presentation is everything when it comes to selling a house. People are going to come and see your house based on the photos that they see online. If those photos have a kitchen full of, a sink full of dishes, the bed's not made, which I see all the time online and am mortified every time I see it. You know, simple little things like the toilet seat being up, believe it or not. You know, you have to have that attention to detail to make sure that what you put out there is going to get people through the door. Everything is driven by that listing buy online. If that is not done correctly, not only are you not going to get people through the door to see your house, you're going to lose money on the back end. So that's what I try to tell people. I'm not their favorite person by the time the photographer gets there, because I have really asked them to put in some work. But I tell them, just go with me here. Go with me and trust me, because if we put in this work on the front end, we are going to reap the benefits on the back end. So, little story time.
Yeah.
We helped a client stage their house last week, elderly couple. They just weren't capable of putting in the work, boxing everything up, taking the stuff off of the walls. So our team went in, we brought boxes, and we helped them.
Nice.
What we don't want to do is have a client leave money on the table. And if that means we have to take a little bit of extra time and energy as a team to make sure that they're capable of doing it, help them through the process, then we're going to do that. Could I have been doing something else? Yes. However, each client matters, and that's how you build a business. You treat each one of them with the same level of respect and make sure that you have the same level of, so how do I want to put this? Attention to detail when staging the house, and sometimes that means we got to roll up our sleeves, we got to put on some jeans, and we got to get over there and help out.
Yeah, and when you were telling me the story before as we were prepping for things, I really liked that one that you made a few comments that I'm going to reiterate so we can revisit them and hit on them. That couple, that this home sale is going to be how they fund retirement.
Yeah.
So here you are in this position to really help or really hurt how the rest of their lives go.
That's right.
And these are people in a position that they can't just pick up and go get some more work, that they're at a stage of life that's just not something that who wants to work. That's the whole point. Like we kind of want to live and enjoy the rest of life. That's why we grind. So you identify this opportunity, you take this opportunity, and you get to make that kind of impact. And we're going to come back around about...
That's my favorite part of the job.
Is it?
It's my favorite part of the job. Making an impact. Seriously, when we do get the opportunity to do something like that, I think that's more fulfilling than most of what I do, because I really have made an impact in that person's life.
So let's talk about... We're going to split this a couple different ways. Let's talk about making the impact that isn't the dollars.
Yeah.
Like the dollars matter, and it's going to help them in life, but... you're talking about this satisfaction you're pulling out that's not monetary. And while we were discussing this, you're talking about how the market's getting warm. It's becoming a buyer's market again. There's a lot of offers coming in on houses.
Yep. We're starting to see more activity.
But here you are still putting in this kind of effort to stage each home and have professional pictures and do it that way.
We never stopped.
How come though, Mary? Wouldn't it just be so easy to just get easy sales in, easy offers in? All I got to do is I got to put an MLS and somebody's going to make an offer on it because that's just how the market's going. Why put in that effort?
Reputation. My reputation. So if I walked in somebody's house and I had a listing appointment with them and they said, absolutely not, I'm not going to put in any of this work. You can take pictures how it is. I wouldn't take the listing because I have a professional reputation as well. Yeah. I want to make sure that each listing that goes up that has our name on it is well presented.
So let's extrapolate that phenomenal point.
Okay.
That is not a financially driven thing. That sure, you do this to support your family and pay the bills. Yes, we all need to do that. But you do it so well and give it such attention for more than dollars.
I think that what motivates people is not money. When it comes down to it, we want to be fulfilled in a different way. And I don't think money is the thing that does that. I really don't.
Yeah.
So when you do find these little nuggets of opportunity to make an impact in the people's lives around you, that's where it's at.
Nice segue back into it.
That's just where it's at.
I like it. And to come back to your story about this elderly couple, opportunity to make a difference. Yeah. Here you are. You didn't have to. No requirement other than your own internal requirements.
I could have given them their list, left, and
Right.
said good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's tie that into what we're doing over here in the fire department. Is
Okay.
that people give us opportunity. They call us and say, hey, here's an opportunity to make a difference for me. Can you help me with this?
Yeah.
And it could be easy because we don't have to go out and drum up business. The business comes to us.
Yep.
That maybe we don't need to go put our best foot forward. We just need to be good enough. And that's kind of how I see it. If you just take any listing because the market is hot and it sells whatever, it's good enough.
Right.
Dollars will come in. Your bills will get paid. No big deal.
I don't think you guys need to just be good enough.
I agree. I agree with this. Thank you. That we might get some of that perception, though, that we just need to be good enough.
Yes.
And we talk about internal, external customers. We talk about, managing public safety as a business. And I hate the word customer for us because a customer can choose you.
I understand.
They can call you and say, I like you, I don't like you.
Yep.
You call 911, you don't get a choice.
You get whoever pulls up.
This isn't, let me try out a couple different fire departments and see which one I like best.
Yep.
Who has the
Do
best Yelp
interviews.
ratings, right?
Yeah.
I compare it to an internet provider. I'm a customer of that company.
Yep.
So I don't necessarily like the word customer, which this then could take us two down different roads. We just need to be good enough because we're the only option you have. Or we should, in my opinion, be living up to the obligation to be the best there shouldn't be a consideration of, is there another option when we show up? Because there's not. But there shouldn't even be a thought, should there be another option?
Yep.
So we're in this situation where people call us and, hey, I need help. Whatever variety of help. Extreme help. All kinds of stuff. Service calls to critical care medicine, on and on. And we can really walk in and establish our credibility, or we can really destroy our credibility.
You could.
And man, like what an opportunity in the similar kind of vein, because we're not motivated by, well, I mean, we're going to go to work, we're going to get paid our dollars, but we don't get paid more money for doing really well or doing okay. We get paid the same amount of money. I mean, that's true. That's government work, guys. You want to go to the private sector and grind if you want to make more dollars. Not going to happen in the public sector. We are here. I'm here, at least I'll speak for me, because of those people.
Yeah.
Of the satisfaction of dealing with people, getting the feedback from somebody, but having some conversation with some of your providers about there's challenges in this job, and that's true.
Yep.
But when the 4-year-old comes back to the fire station next week,
it's everything.
I mean,
it's everything.
Those are fabulous. I still have all of my thank you cards throughout my career. I keep them in a binder.
I think that people don't realize that it doesn't matter what profession you're in.
Mm-hmm.
You have this opportunity to look for ways to be impactful in the community around you.
Yeah.
When I first got into real estate, one of the things that I wanted to do, I wanted to serve. I really did. I'm a very service-minded person. I wanted to help. And I thought really, really hard about, okay, is real estate going to give me that opportunity to serve? Oh, and it has. It's been fabulous. So when we end up closing this home for this fabulous couple and we get them top dollar, I mean, we're going to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth it. It's worth putting in that extra time. It's worth, okay, if you lose a few dollars over here, to make this good for this person over here.
Mm-hmm.
And with that said, that's how a successful business is built, because the person that you've done right to remembers you. They talk about your business. They tell people about your business. They remember you. That's, it just builds your business. Treating people right is the way to build a business.
I think you're right. And even we'll go to the reputation that you had spoken of.
Mm-hmm.
The reputation builds this, because that's going to resonate with us over here. We don't have the business end to build, but we absolutely have the reputation end.
Yeah.
That people call us. We either need funding or don't need funding out of City Hall, and City Council is represented by people who elect them. So if we have a garbage reputation and can do no right, these people will say things. People like to voice when they're unhappy about it.
Yes.
They will elect the people who agree with them, and those people they elect are the ones who decide if we do or do not get funding for pay raises, equipment, or having the staffing. Maybe we don't need this much staffing. If this much is garbage, let's
That's tough.
So reputation, crucial.
Yeah.
And it might not be its business model of selling a product. We're selling a product. We're delivering a product. I guess that's a better way. We're delivering a product. And I did ask you about this, and I would love to tie another parallel.
Okay.
staging a home
Yes.
gets you more money.
Oh, absolutely.
That's just an industry trend that it's just a known axiom that you get more money out of well-staged homes.
You absolutely do. It took us a little while, probably about a year, to really refine our systems in staging a home because we wanted to include it as a part of our listing package. We didn't want to have to call. There are some homes where we're going to call in a stager. Most of the homes that we sell, we don't have to. It's all part of our listing package. It's all a part of what we do. And the reason that we do that is to get that top dollar. We want every single home when it's photographed to look like a model home.
Yeah.
You know, we are going to take that home and do everything that we can with each and every single room to make it look like a model home. And you're right. You know, you reap the benefit on the back end because you get more people through the door. It shows better when people are there, and you make more money. So.
And let's tie that to you being a bit of a dream maker.
Okay.
If somebody calls you and it's, I don't want to live here anymore, or there's other circumstances somewhere else that I want to exist in those.
Yep, I have a few of those right now.
You know, simple ones. I'm moving across the country, across the world. I'm moving 2 miles down the road for different choices. Mary, help me sell this house, find a new house. I also want to pay at least as much as I can for that house, but I want to sell this one for as much as I can.
Of course.
And here you are kind of making these dreams come true of, got it.
Yep.
Put some faith in me. Here's some approaches. And it's because of this reputation that you bring to it, preparing the product, delivering the product, and being out there. And I want to kind of connect that to our residents calling us for help.
Yes.
That we may not call them dreams per se.
Yes.
But when somebody cannot breathe, I think they might classify breathing well as a dream they might have. We all want that.
Far more important than staging a home. Really,
this is true.
It is.
Yeah.
Far more important than it is. That's the truth. So yes, what you do is needed.
Well, thank you.
And I am so glad that you're here.
But if I say I sell my house for me with and get me a lot of money, Mary, and you're like, sure, don't worry, kid, we'll get you something. Man, those dreams. Oh.
It's funny that you say that. I've had agents on my team where I've told them, you know, just based on listening to their communication on the phone with somebody or in front of somebody, I'm like, the message that I'm hearing when you're speaking is that you don't believe it's going to happen. And how are they supposed to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself?
I love that.
So I have to walk in and know with confidence. And I've been doing this a long time, so I do walk in with confidence. But even for the newer agents, man, get in there with confidence. You make sure that they know that you're going to do everything that you can to take care of all of their needs. And if you don't know how to do it in front of them, you get out there and figure it out.
I'm going to take these exact words, Mary, and I'm going to repackage them in a way that we're not even talking about selling homes anymore.
Okay.
That somebody calls us for help, have a little bit of swagger. Walk in like you can handle this.
Yep.
That impression, that composure matters. And I don't care what industry it is, the first impression you make on somebody does impact your ability to be effective in what you do.
Yes.
No matter how technically savvy you are in market sales, in medicine, in rescue, whatever it is, you can be the greatest one in the world. But if you come in and just destroy your credibility with the way you present yourself in the first 5 seconds, you've just made your job that much harder.
You have.
So walk into this situation, have confidence, even if you don't know it all.
Yep.
Know where to find answers, know how to figure it out, know your resources.
That's right.
And tap into them. But the appearance you have, being composed, put together, looking clean, matters. These people are looking to us for some pretty big expectations, pretty tall asks sometimes.
Really, in both of our careers, I agree with that. I mean, you're saving lives, so obviously that top notch. But we're helping people purchase the most expensive asset that they will ever own, or sell the most expensive asset that they will ever own. I don't know about you, but I don't want to leave a penny on the table.
No.
No.
I do not. That's why I called you.
Yeah, exactly. And we're not.
That's why we followed all of your staging suggestions. We did. So I want to kind of wrap this one up because some of
Okay.
the discussion we had out of it was really, I mean, first impressions matter. I think we've made that point.
Yes.
You don't get that second chance. You don't get to come in halfway
No.
and then get a chance to there's no do-overs.
There are no do-overs.
You don't get to redo that. I love hearing it from Kathy. She does it all the time. If you don't have time to do it right, you're acting like you have time to do it twice.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's a lot of circumstances we don't have twice.
No.
So
No, I get one chance when I walk through the door. I get one chance to make that impression, to secure a client, to gain their trust, to let them know that they've got somebody sitting across from them that cares, that they're not just another number. You know, you're just not to me. That's not how I operate my business. So yeah, you get one chance, one shot. That's it. You know, and if somebody in your career came in and was shaky and nervous and I can't breathe, I'm not feeling good about things.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm not. Or if they're disheveled and look like red-eyed, or I'm just giving you examples of things that would potentially make me nervous. You know, if you walked in to help save my life.
See, and there it is. There's a fine example that what we look like coming through the door matters.
It does.
We should be more composed than the person who's calling us and having the emergency, please.
Please.
But look, have that professional demeanor and professional appearance. It pays dividends, regardless of the industry, but especially in ours where people don't have a choice on their service provider.
Yep.
We're not standing to make any more, any less money on the quality. Like that's just kind of our call to duty is the quality of service we provide needs to be there. And you talked about the most expensive asset somebody will ever have. Man, that could really impact downrange on this family, on this individual, on this couple. That could have a huge impact, just the same way that we talk about a lot of our time-sensitive therapies. That if I have to spend time making up a terrible first impression and I add 5 minutes onto a time-sensitive therapy, those are a lot of long-range or downrange effects that we don't necessarily see.
Yep.
But we need to take that in consideration.
But they're there. You don't see them.
Absolutely.
So you could walk away from that and not think anything about it. But I think those are the things that we need to, as professionals, whatever profession you're in, you need to be thinking, okay, as I make these decisions, what are the long-term effects for the people other than myself? You know, and then take those seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're absolutely right. You could walk out the door and that person wouldn't know the long-term effects for a year. You know? Yeah.
Oh, man. And I like that you emphasized as professionals.
Yes.
Because this is true. Like, none of us necessarily, sale goes terrible, you don't get a whole lot of money, your life will move on. You have your house. You're not the one selling your house. This is somebody else's problems that they have to carry.
I'm very sad, though.
But again, that's the professional of it, right? Somebody lands in the ICU for 6 more days and gets an infection for being in the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm back in my bed eating dinner with my kids. That's the professional part is we should care about them.
Yes.
And people are looking to us for that. People look at us and
they want us to care.
they do. And some people may get in this and that may not be what I want. And that's maybe question why you're doing what you're doing. But we're in this position for people to look at us and say, I'm counting on you.
That's right.
And they deserve to have us be what they're counting on us to be in that position.
Yep.
Regardless of industry.
I agree.
We do it with service providers all the time. I call this cell phone company and their service is garbage and their rates are crap. I'm going to go find another one.
That's right.
Because we're expecting that service provider to be what we expect them to be.
Right.
Again, the residents of our city don't get a choice in service providers. So just a higher calling, I guess, for us there.
Yes. So big challenge for leadership for y'all.
Yes.
Making sure that each person understands the importance of that.
We're trying, and I best led by example is the best thing we can do.
Isn't that the truth? Lead by example.
Yeah. Again, with the credibility, I can say all the things in the world, but if I don't have any credibility behind them, man, we're somehow have to get a lot more valuable.
It's true.
So
it's true. It's just empty words at that point.
I'd rather just show it, and then we'll use some words later. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Mary, thanks for coming and having this discussion.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you help me tie industries together here and how you selling and marketing and putting a good product forward can be very similar to some of the stuff that we're doing.
It was very, very interesting seeing how they connect. Yes.
I don't think things are as different as they may appear on the surface.
I agree. Right. I agree.
So, well, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you
really
for having me.
appreciate it. Thanks for listening in, and we'll catch you for the next one.